Ladies and gentlemen, this is Millio, full AP in the mid lane, played by TC Swag on the YouTube. And he is going to be rocking a Airy with Scorch rune page. And we will see. The problem with AP Millio is the following. Millio doesn't really have the cooldown reduction on his abilities. And I also think that Zwag made a mistake here where he could have gone for minion dematerializer to probably get a execution threshold onto the backline minions on your Q, right? Throw in like 1 or 2 minion dematerializers on the backline, and then use one for just wave control onto the melee, the cannon, right? Stuff like that. I think would have been a thing. But yeah, he's going to be facing off against Katarina, which naturally lends itself pretty well to the matchup. You wouldn't believe, but obviously since Millio is a bit of a peel support, right, that generally works pretty well versus Katarina, especially since TC Swag seems to be playing a lot in the lower brackets. He is obviously a very skilled player himself, however, ends up doing a lot of the Profresco-like content, right? A lot of one-shot builds and so on. And so he is obviously getting onto that Milo hype train and trying him out full AP in the mid lane, as naturally you would. Very good Q hit there onto the Katarina. Katarina will find herself in a little bit of a weird wave state here, right? Not the best to break that kind of wave state as Millio, as we are not going to go after her. Instead, we are just going to try to thin out the wave here and keep it in front of our turret for as long as possible. But you can already see how little wave control Millio has. Seems a little bit difficult to pull off, but very good Q here is going to catch him, and the W range increase is going to help him out as he pulls the minion. Yeah. So he trades there and pulls the minions towards his tower. This is a very good... This is... If you want to know how to play versus players that are much, much worse than you, then this is exactly the way you go. Really unfortunate that he doesn't pick up the kill there. Katarina flashing. Has a favorable lane state for himself here, as he is going to shove that out, and Katarina just godlessly overstaying. Is going to miss more CS here, obviously. And maybe even go down. Who the hell knows? And with Millio Q, my brain always goes to Lilia, but it's not, it doesn't have the range of Lilia Q, E. But in my mind, just because it moves exactly the same way. Beautiful hit there, catches out the Katarina as he will take down. Is it even first blood? It is first blood. He will get a first blood here for himself. It's going to push out the wave now. And we can see how slow pushing out the wave is. And yeah, 16 seconds on that Q is quite a bit of cooldown, as he will be able to grab at least a couple of minions and will head home. 13k gold. We will see what he picks up here. Honestly, I think Everfrost could be really nice with him. Or Rod of Ages. Rod of Ages is also very good. Gives you the tankiness that you need, especially versus Katarina. Not too bad. As we are not going to pick up a control ward here. We're just going to waddle back to lane. Waddle. As this is also the Star Guardian skin, which is very interesting. Doesn't really look that different, does it? It is a little bit different. But it doesn't feel just that different. But yeah, might just be me. All right, let's see. So we're going to shove out the wave. Okay, yeah, still don't deal a lot of damage to the wave. I think I think minion dematerializer is definitely the play if you want to play mid lane. It's going to give you a lot of wave control. Wave control is very strong, as we have to basically just use our Airy and our empowered W here. Yeah, Q, very good anti-gank tool. Otherwise, you don't really have a lot of tools though. And now it's not available, as Katarina will not seize that moment, but instead will continue CSing, as the Q will not land. Very good. Nice dodge by Katarina. As, yeah, he's gonna try to get some poke off here. And the poke is pretty deadly with the Aerie. Katarina smelling her chance here. But is not going to commit to it as Zach does hold his Q. He's gonna hold his Q to potentially interrupt her ultimate, right? That is what she was hoping for. Hoping for him to use it. Didn't end up working out. Yeah, I mean, the wave control is just not that good. But, you know, we'll see. Maybe there is a little bit of potential on the AP pick. I mean, the scalings look pretty decent. And at the end of the day, right? He seems to be getting through laning phase very well. Now, he isn't put under a lot of pressure, but the AP pick feels a little bit more potentially potent. If we end up grabbing something like a minion DMAT, I think that could be really nice for the wave control. Graves just gonna casually fail his combo into there. All right. And we are using the W to heal up, obviously holding the wave in front of our turret. Again, putting us in a safe place versus the Katarina. Very important. Beautiful Q hit onto the Katarina. As Katarina is slowed, he is going to be walking forward to deal a little bit of damage. Katarina, now that she is low on HP, is going to go and try to look for the all-in. Doesn't find it. And will be taken down here. As now, we will have to push this in, which is, yeah, you know. It's not the best experiences. Or the best of experiences. Yeah, probably gonna knock something in there. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, with a little bit of prep, honestly, he could stay here for the Rod of Ages. Grab himself the plate. Katarina's gonna be back, but do we really care about this? Katarina. We're actually not dealing a lot of damage to the tower, as he will overstay the hell out of this. We're gonna see if we can do something. The shield's lasting a long time. Katarina panicked her combo and failed. 1700 gold is incoming, so he is going to get the recall. Doesn't really do a lot of damage to the towers. I mean, quelle surprise, right? But still. The little footballer guy. So cute. Alright. So, Rod of Ages has been acquired. Rod of Ages is a super strong item on a lot of, like, off-meta builds. It just gives you a lot of very strong stats, and in general, on anything that doesn't do super high damage, the Catalyst itself already does an amazing job. Katarina looking for the all-in here. He's gonna find the Graves. Very good job by Katarina. As, yeah, Zwag, you are probably not going to find that. The Ashe ult sealing that deal. Not too bad. 2-0. As the Teemo in the top lane is putting in work. Putting in a lot of work. And we're going to, still not be able to pick up the minions. Katarina did stay, which is great. Yeah, so the poke is pretty good, right? Just E auto attack. You do quite a bit of damage actually with the passive together. It's not so bad. Ooh, nice try. Trying to kick the minion into the cat there. As Diana. Not entirely sure what she is doing. But I don't think she knows either. She will look for the all-in here. Ultimate is available to her. Now we have to run. Flash out. Going to use our ultimate as well. Get ourselves to safety. Graves is not... I mean, Graves will be coming in now. Ooh, Graves gotta be super careful. We have to be there to shield him. Yeah, the shield is available here. Katarina is gonna be knocked back. Will be thirsting for the kill, though. Doesn't seem like she knows exactly how the champion works yet, but... the kill will be picked up here by Zwag. I actually went over to the Graves. Is Diana going to chase down, and Zwag just decides to play it safe. And nothing will come of it. Alright, well, just Rakan dying, unfortunately. As Zwag has to just look out for the stat line, right? I mean, that is kind of what his videos are made for. Made out of. It's actually a really good amount of damage coming out of the Q now. I think it just cleared the minions, the backline minions. I think it just one-shot them, which is really nice. Because I think at that point you can clear the wave okay-ish. Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, you're by no means a victor, but, you know. Not too terrible. As we are going to go for Sheen here. Very interesting. Obviously makes a lot of sense with the trading patterns that you would go for. We can also turn on a little bit, the volume a little bit.
It's going to add a lot more sustained damage for me.
Alright.
Look, my Q's at 356 damage.
So we will see how exactly the team fights work out for him. But I think that a supercharged Millio is going to be pretty annoying, especially together with a Kog'Maw. You're gonna have a good time. Or is this Kog'Maw Rakan? Honestly, you're happy if you're winning on that lane. Would love to know whether or not the passive procs onto towers. Probably does, right? Would make a lot of sense, I think. Ah, didn't hit the Katarina, but we saw it does clear the backline wave now. That's already quite the tool. I mean, it's hard to say. He is above the curve, obviously, of the gold that you gain. So probably not gonna... Ooh, the Katarina trades. Ah, the Q doesn't land. Unfortunate. But yeah, the nicest thing about Millio is obviously you can regenerate HP. And it's not... I mean, yeah, it's a bit of HP. As yeah, we can use the ultimate to get out of sticky situations here as well. Remember, ultimate isn't just a cleanse, as the Q will take down the Diana. Honestly, not a bad amount of Q damage here available. Yeah, this pick is looking it's looking okay. Good amount of damage, yeah. As I would have loved to see a Nash's Tooth here. But yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know what to think. Whether or not it is Nash's Tooth or whether or not it would be the... Nah, I think it has to be. I think it has to be Nash's Tooth, right? Because you're going to be attacking a lot. And how many spells do you get? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you get a lot of Sheen procs. You do get a lot of Sheen procs. So honestly, yeah, I think his build makes a lot of sense. As Katarina will not be picked up here. He didn't give his shield to the graves. Could have been potentially the thing that is the deciding factor there. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe if he procs both shields. Yeah, trading into bone plating is rough. I'm obviously trying to gather as much information on the strength of this build as possible, right? He did get a super early Rod of Ages, obviously. So that is very good. Now we are moving towards the Lich Bane. The item of whom the name I had forgotten. Funnily enough, I tried out Rakan mid recently, and it does one-shot the backline minions. It's pretty funny. Oh, that Q doesn't hit. Now there is no Q available, but we are going to heavily trade into the Katarina. As yeah, the Q cooldown is large. Good damage. Gonna run down the Katarina even further. You can kind of tell that this is below platinum by Katarina not respecting the fact that he does have his cooldowns down. Right, that would be what you would want to punish as Katarina. Just wait for the Q cooldown to be down. In this case, we have all of our cooldowns almost used. Definitely an all-in timing, but, you know. For him, currently, I think his only goal, I mean, obviously try to create some chaos here, right? But I think his only goal here is get that Lich Bane and get to that team fighting phase, as, ooh, Diana might be able to do something here. No. Definitely not like that. Will be walking into the mid lane, has a Herald, so you pretty much know what the plan is, as Diana will be going in here. Has a stack Conqueror. He still has his ultimate. I think he's, yeah. He's still baiting. Diana will not get the reset if she jumps in here. Doesn't jump in. Well done. Okay, he's gonna jump in here, hard forcing it. We'll take 2 tower shots and we'll go down. Are we able to kill the Katarina though? Yes, we are. It is a 2-for-1 trade. And that is a very good one. It's gonna accelerate our boy quite a bit. Wave pushed out here. Not too bad. And I honestly, I think this is kind of funny. But I wish he had something that gave him more ability haste. I think that ability haste could be so good. Like, I don't know. Leandri's generally very good, as it does give you quite a bit of damage and works really well with champions like him. Would also give him much more ability haste, so generally not that bad. But again, right, the Rod of Ages is going to work out so good versus the Diana and the Katarina. You can even go for some magic resist here, as Diana's back at it again, is going to try to take out that mid lane turret with the Herald now. It is an 18-minute Herald, so not a lot of money going over to the red team. As a Q does miss, I think his goal was to clear the wave there. That didn't work out. As we are running down the enemy team here. Nice, good Q onto the Katarina. Dealing not that much damage to her though, honestly. I mean, given the fact that that is your only damage spell. Really, besides your passive. It's not the craziest damage. That was some pretty decent damage. I don't hate it. Pressing that W. Will give you more range to trade. Still not that much versus the Teemo though. You can probably cleanse the Teemo Q though, right? The Teemo blind. Oh, I want to see this. Do you have enough damage? Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. Does have enough-ish damage. Yeah, you will not be able to chase down the Karma here. Karma Q and E. Hard to beat that kid. Hard to beat that kid indeed. And I think this is also the thing, right? If you want to play a supportive mid laner, why don't you just play Karma? Right? Karma has all the base damage, all the bullying potential that you would want out of a mid laner. Has really good wave clear if you use that Q. And is able to respond to teamfights and is arguably stronger with a jungler than Millio, because Millio attack range not gonna work with every jungler, not gonna work super well with every jungler, right? Better for pocketing an AD carry, so I remain on my stance that Millio mid lane is not a thing. But we do want to cover it after all. And maybe some pro figures something out that we all don't know yet, as we are going to move in to pick up the Teemo here. The Teemo Shroom is going to get him some safety. The flash comes out and we will pick up a kill onto the Teemo here with a beautiful Q actually, knocking Teemo back. I love the Q, dude. I love the Q. I want an ability like the Q more. But I want a champion that knocks people into their ability with an ability like that. That would be so cool. You know? Something like you place down a little field, right? Like the Aurelian field, and then you throw Q or something like this Q that knocks people into it and combos if it hits it. Oh. That would be cool, dude. That would just look cool. I would love it. Yeah, the damage is not premium. Alright, let's see. So yeah, Katarina doesn't stand a chance. The ignite isn't even pop, and we will take her down. Honestly, decent amount of damage here on the attacks. I think, yeah, I really want a Nash's Tooth now. Who knows what he's going to go for? Haven't seen the enemy team items, so I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think that Void Staff would make a lot of sense. So I think Nash's Tooth would actually be a really good pickup here. As obviously that is kind of what Millio does. The cool thing is you can empower your auto attacks also by casting the shield onto your allies, right? Which definitely works pretty well. Decent wave clear as we are going to move in to deal good amount of damage here to the Diana. Kog'Maw, big damage available as we will pick up a kill onto the Diana. 9, 1, and 4 now. And I mean, yeah, Millio with Kog'Maw is just nasty, right? Teemo will just be caught out. Another kill goes over to Millio, of course. Ooh, the Q not there to cancel the Katarina ultimate, as Katarina will pick up a double, I think. Double also goes over to Zvag. On the Millio, the Q knockback, kind of weird, but it did do a good amount of damage. Not gonna be enough for anyone to pick up the kill, but Kog'Maw. He's gonna get down. A little bit of a micro fail there. As it seems that we are kind of A-ramming here. And just gonna look to pick up the farm, pick up all the kills that are just lying around for free. As Baron is now an objective that definitely can be taken. Also the Dragon obviously should be the objective that we want to play for, as the top lane, Diana and Ashe, will take down the Jax. Yeah, Nash's Tooth. That's what I'm talking about. Now the question is, what do you go for? Honestly, I think something like the Cosmic Drive could be really nice, right? Give you some movement speed, give you some cooldown reductions especially. Yeah. Take the Cosmic Drive, please. That is the idea. I mean, Service Embrace would have been good if he had a stacking tier early. Honestly, something like Zhonya is also not bad, right? Pick up a Zhonya versus the Katarina. Could have picked up a stopwatch there. Pretty good. Mystery Event Horizons. Perfect, as the dragon will be taken down here by the enemy team. And Zvag will move back into the mid lane here. It's not gonna go. Oh, there's a little bit of a skirmish here. Jax will be catching out the Karma here, splitting off her path to her team, as Karma does have a good amount of sustain here with her ultimate W. But will be taken down eventually. And we'll go over to the Rakan. Not the Jax. Jax would have been pretty scary, but here we are not going to get that, as Ashe looking to disrupt this Millio. And very interestingly enough, Zwag decides to not fight that. Will be helping out his team in running down the Katarina, and will pick up a kill here. Not too bad. Oh yeah, actually very similar to the Janna. You can heal up people with your ultimate. You have a Kog'Maw, you can do Baron here easily. Yeah, good call. As we are going to... Yeah, I mean, having to deal with Teemo is a bit of an issue. So probably not the best Baron if the enemy team handles it correctly. Shaq slightly confused. Could have placed the W onto Kog'Maw there. Stun on Teemo. Teemo will go down as we are flashing out of the way here. Karma now looking to late chase. But the Rakan Peel is available. As Kog'Maw now taken down. And so, like the dominoes, they will fall. Rakan will not be offered the opportunity to jump. As actually a pretty long range Q there will catch out the Diana. That looked pretty good, that Q range. That hits, I agree with Diana. That looked kind of weird. As we are going to go for the meme playstyle. Probably going to go for Rabadons. Yeah, I mean, Jax is going to be very scary with that Millio. Well, that wasn't the best W cast. It is totally fine. Yeah, you saw the Q damage? Not too terrible indeed, as now obviously the Ahri not nearly going to be as strong. I think Comet is also an option if you want to play this off-meta playstyle. Comet also one of these choices that can give you a lot of damage, just no matter how much damage you do, right? But Ahri much better as it can be procced with the auto attacks, obviously. Q only works on the... Comet only works on the Q. Let's actually scrap what I said. As the cleanse is going to come out and Kog'Maw will be trading himself here for the Teemo. We are not able to catch the Karma. So that is generally not the best of trades, as Jax is going to be pushing out the top lane. So potentially there is some action going on there. As Jax will be attempting to dive the Ashe here now. Ooh, Diana finds a huge engage though. And even though the Rakan ultimate comes in, yeah, I think that Millio will be going down here. Goes down. And that is going to be a difficult game. Okay, we are complaining about our teammates. Yeah. I think that this Kog'Maw could be really big. But it's going to be rough, man. It is going to be very rough. Generally, Rakan's pretty good against this enemy team at peeling something like the Kog, but I mean, Kog also needs to be alive in that fights and not out of position, which is going to be a little bit difficult then. A lot of money is on Millio, who isn't really the highest damage mid laner, you know? So, yeah. Blue team definitely behind. If they're not by the metrics, then they definitely are by just gold distribution, right? Gold not on the Kog'Maw. Bit of an issue. Oh, the Millio Q is gonna come in that one. Teemo's gonna flash out of that, and we should be careful here to chase. We are going to be careful as Teemo will move himself into a very difficult situation and will go down. Big Ashe damage coming out. Ashe barely taking any damage. Obviously, the Millio. Ooh, the Q almost hit. That could have been real nice, but we are running down the enemy team as now we are starting to be a little bit more of the Enchanter version of the Millio pick. Katarina will be able to pick out the Millio, but for that expense, she will go down at last. Then instead pushing in the wave. Kog'Maw needs to kill the Scuttle Crab first, because that is very important. As we are going to be taking down the dragon finally. And we'll be looking for the Diana now. And Jax should have a good amount of survivability. Honestly, it's a good teamfight build that Jax has there. In comparison to being a split push build. He does have a Blade of the Rune King now, so all is fine. You only need that item to be OP. So yeah, Kog'Maw could make use of a little bit more CS than 150 at 31 minutes. Sorry, 140. And the question is like, how do you win the fights here? Because at this point, you getting more money doesn't really do much. I think that something like a support build would have still been better here than the full AP build. We are looking to cut off the enemy team though. Potentially, as Kog'Maw will pick up a kill on to the Teemo here. So that is very big. Yeah, Kog'Maw is still alive in this fight. As we are going to cleanse and try to peel for our Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw will get out scot-free here. As he does walk back into the fight. And will go down eventually. We end up taking down the Diana. So this is honestly fightable together with the Jax. Yeah, Jax feeling it as the Millio shield should add a good amount of damage here. As we are not going to be able to chase down the Karma, unfortunately. Now Katarina joining the whole thing is disastrous potentially, so we got to be very careful here. As the Q is still not quite on cooldown, as Jax will take her down though. And this is an opportunity to take down the Karma. Big stun into the Millio Q could be... Yeah, no. Okay, it's going to be the Karma Flash, but... Jack's going to lay chase even further, and he will take her down eventually. As the W and the E will save his life as well. And Millio is... Yeah, Millio's Enchanter after all, right? It all went much, much better after he decided to try to enchant his allies as well. Something like a Jax is obviously absolutely huge together with the Millio. And yeah, what is the final item of the... Do you go... I mean... You shouldn't go any armor pen, magic pen. I don't think it's the item. Banshee's Veil is okay. Yeah, Banshee's Veil is not a bad item by any means, obviously. Works very well with the granted HP here from the Rod of Ages. Would be better with the Seraphs. Together with that, you would be quite the tank. Let's see, what's the damage? I mean, yeah, the damage is... Yeah, I mean, the damage is okay. If you can hit that in a team fight, that isn't too bad. And you can obviously knock someone into Ashe potentially with it, I think. That would be pretty nice, right? I don't know if it knocks minions further. Actually, I haven't seen... Yeah, Ashe is doing a lot of damage. Ooh, Jack's looking for the engage here. Okay, will not be caught out by the enemy team. They were absolutely not ready to punish that. As Katarina, though, taking the spearhead here. Diana's definitely looking for an engage here, but Jax finds it instead as Diana actually right in the backline has good amount of damage here onto the Kog'Maw as Kog'Maw will go down. Teemo found a really good flank here and will take down Millio as the Ashe can just fire away at the Jax, and that is going to be 3 people going down here. Goes for the surrender vote as well. And it is going to be... It is going to be a surrender. Well, GG, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one, as we have seen that AP Millio doesn't work. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in an actual review.